My lords, my ladies, any ordinary town folk, all ye in attendance gather round. As an official town crier and member in good standing in the Ontario Guild of Town Criers, I have an announcement of great importance. I read, it is a well-known fact that art is a true recording of emotional experience. The work of the Group of Seven has become well known to symbolize a distinctly Canadian identity. 5 of the Group of Seven have lived in Thornhill, and today, yes, absolutely. And today, you are able to join a walking tour to explore the places where they lived and some of the art where they created while living there. My lords and ladies, come, enjoy, celebrate as the Thornhill Historical Society hosts the inaugural Group of Seven and Contemporaries guided walking tour. This cry cried aloud this 12th day of June in the year of our Lord 2022, God save our gracious Queen. And my lords and ladies, while we are standing here in what is now Thornhill, we must remember that we were not the first peoples here. We respectively acknowledge that in the city of Vaughan is situated in the territory of the Treaty 13 lands of the Mississaugas and the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. We also recognize the traditional territory of the Huron-Wendat and the Haudenosaunee. The city of Vaughan is currently home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people today. As representatives of the people of the city of Vaughan, we are grateful to have the opportunity to work, to live, and to play in this territory. Once again, may God bless this territory. And of course, an event would not happen unless there was somebody that was organizing, making sure things ran along fine, and that job is the MC. And my lords and ladies, please welcome the MC for today, the person who is the Captain Picard of the ship, Mr. Barry Nelson.
Thank you, Mr. Town Crier. And of course, as I begin, I'll start focusing on a lot of other people, and I'm just the guy here today. I'm just the voice, but there's a lot of other people to thank. So welcome to our inaugural first time event of the Group of Seven walking tour. And obviously many of you may know it's grown in terms of scale, and the weather has made some adjustments, but welcome. This is part of the Thornhill Historical Society, which many of you would know goes back to 1974. For almost 50 years now, we've been active within Thornhill as a leading voice when it comes to advocacy. But also going way back, we're part of education as well. And education has dropped off over the years, just out of volunteerism. But along comes Duessa Dupuis. 3 years ago, Duessa? Yes. And so you've reinvigorated the education piece, of which today is all about. Now, there's a number of other volunteers I'll speak to in a couple of moments, but this is all part of our support of our cultural and built heritage. It's part of our mandate to bring historically focused presentations to you, and Duessa has the passion for this. Duessa's business has also been affected dramatically, I'm sure, based on how many of you in the past have been part of the Thornhill Village Festival, or you've attended. How many? Hands up. Yeah, so you know those events take a lot. This is the first year as it grows, and folks like Andrew Baldwin get a hold of the results of today. Andrew cleared up all around. Thank you so much. Thank you. Also, Rachel Murad. Where's Rachel? Rachel, huge part of what today's all about as well. Where's Mitch? Backup support. Mitch, thank you very much. Thank you for looking after things inside. Their work started long before today, and they'll be also part of our guide throughout the day as well. Thank you to Adam Birrell, our fearless president, who many months ago, yes, hold on, events like this just don't happen overnight. They require funding. actually a lot of funding. It takes a lot of funding to put this on. So the Thornhill Historical Society is funding this today. Now, of course, there'll be another number of folks from the political side which will come in. And I think, Alan, you've provided some background for this infrastructure, right? Which is really good. All right. We have a wide variety of local artists. The artists that are here, hold your hands up just for a moment. Yes, okay, so you make sure you get upstairs. So as you're about to go to your walking tour, you're not set up, maybe you're going this afternoon, make sure you tour all through the building. That about covers the first part. 100% financed by THS today. I'm going to introduce you to our political supporters, and they're much bigger than that. They represent an office, it's true, but you look at the time, energy, and effort that goes into their contributions locally. How many of you know Alan so well, right? Over time, right? And I saw the smiles, I saw the winks as well, Alan. So sometimes the hands go up. All right. So these people are a vibrant part of our local community as well. Melissa Lantsman, thank you for coming today as well. How many of you know? Have you seen Melissa's videos of late? Keep going. You started that wave. Yes, fearless leader for us. Also, is Valerie Burke here? Should be here at 2 o'clock. Should be here at 2 o'clock. Valerie is also out on the trail. You meet Valerie. I'm mentioning these people because they're a huge part of supporting today. True, Brooke? You want to say? Yeah. And so you'll meet Valerie out on the trail in the Thornhill Meadows. Okay, cool. All right. So without any further ado, I think we'll go to Alan first. Alan. Alan's been a part of this local community from a political perspective. We go back to York Hill when we first got voted in as school council reps, along with Bernie Farber. And Alan moved on to significant levels of leadership. He's a huge part of this, which I hope you'll speak to briefly as well. And anyway, go way back in local society. So you can use this, or
I'll just. My voice is pretty good.
Well done.
Thank you, Barry. Thank you so much, Barry, for your introduction. And I want to start by thanking all of you for being here today. I mean, this is a wonderful, wonderful area, the village of Thornhill. We share it with our friends in Markham, which is also quite wonderful and pretty unique, in fact, in Ontario, as far as I know. But it's the people that are so important to making an historic area live and live again and continue to live. So your interest, your presence, your involvement with spots is so very important in how this place can actually still be a living part of our history. I do want to thank the members of SPOT, the organizers of today who put this together, because Joseph and I were talking a little bit before about the need to get into the community and allow the community the opportunity to get insights into what this is all about here. There are individual houses, and you can see the little plaques in front of them, but there's marvelous stories about these houses and these places. I talked to a gentleman, I don't know where he is, who's put together a blog on some of these historic sites, and I've now got the information, and I've got the information, and I'm going to put it in my W5 newsletter so everybody can access the blog and actually hear more and see more about each one of the places that we have. I love this place, where we are right now. I really do. I remember as a young father taking my kids around in strollers around the neighborhood, and this is one of the places that we always stopped at, and as they got a little bit older, let them run around and look at the place. It's like an enclave of peace, if you like, in a community. It's so unique and so amazing. And over the years, I've been involved with, the restoration of the house itself, which is a project the city did a number of years ago to make it really, really habitable in the sense of using for the community. The Tangled Garden project, which was right over here, and you can see the boards about it. And that was a fabulous project where we recreated the Tangled Garden in that famous painting that was obviously painted here in that with that garden. But as you walk around this area, you'll see there's so few plaques, and there's all these wonderful notations about this great community and this great place that we're very, very fortunate to live. I'm a real advocate and a supporter for the work that SWAT does, because they carry on the memories, carry on the inspiration of what this provides to us. So wonderful initiative today. I hope to see it happening again and again in the future, and that we have various events that support and help promote this wonderful part of the city of Vaughan, of Thornhill, of our community. So thank you all very much. Enjoy the day.
I'm a vicious speaker simply because we're set up for 150 people and the weather is the weather. I don't know, as I'm listening to Alan, I always adore listening to him. As a person who lives in local society, he has one word that just pops for me that is so what our next speaker is all about as well, and that is empathy. He has huge empathy in everything that he does. And you ask Alan to come out to events. Andrew, you were celebrated at a recent event. You know, he always shows up. And so does Melissa. Not only physically, but if any of you caught her videos recently, they're just absolutely astounding. So to introduce you as a person who has no opposition today. And if, as I speak to community love, as you've seen for Alan, I think we have the same for Melissa. So Melissa, if you could say a few words to us, that would be wonderful.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. First of all, thanks for having me, and thank you to the organizers of this. I grew up in this community my entire life, and there is much that I don't know, and I'm so happy that there is an organized community that is willing to share the story in the place that we live, that a lot of us grew up in, that a lot of us have raised our kids in. So thank you for the commitment to that. I'm also a history buff. Anytime I hear God Save the Queen and Long May She Reign, I am there, and I am there very quickly, and I'm very happy to be a part of this first. And I wanted to, I'm new to the political game, particularly in Thornhill. We replaced somebody who was a big supporter of this. You have my commitment that I will continue that support, and I'm so happy to be part of a first. I hope to be part of a second and a third, and many, many more years. So I wanted to present you with this from the House of Commons, and it's a bit of a certificate, and maybe you can put this in the archives as the first. Thank you so much. There's a lot of hard work that goes into this. I just give out certificates.
So well said. And Alan, are you going to take part on some of the tours, or one of the tours?
Yeah, I'll try.
See how you do. And
issues at the moment, but I'll try.
I know you guys are busy, right? So Melissa, you're welcome to take part on the tour as well, and all of your people. Now, Melissa, one last word. There's somebody supporting you today. Who's supporting you? Like, you always bring on somebody.
So I get a built-in friend as part of this job, and he's much more than just a support. And I never use the word assistant, but Sam is with me. Sam is my eyes and ears on the ground when I've got to be in Ottawa. So get his number if you need anything. Make sure you talk to Sam. He's the guy who makes me look really good and keeps me on track to get everywhere. And there's a lot of people like Sam who work behind the scenes, just like there's a lot of people who organize these festivals. So thank you.
Given the opportunity, here it comes again. Huge amounts of empathy, and you could tell she meant that, right? So Bernie from the Thornhill Historical Society, connect with Bernie today. Make sure you connect with Adam at some point, because not all of you are on the first tour. How many are on the first tour? Okay, it looks like we could have a few more people on the first tour as well. Who's on the second tour? Anybody? Yeah, okay, so we'll see how it goes. That's a very intimate, almost one-on-one with your tour guide. And so the tour guides today, one is David Rockcliffe. David, where are you? Are you here? He's inside. Okay, so the first tour will start at 11:30 coming up. And who is our other tour guide today, Duessa? I've got my notes. Rachel. Rachel has a passion for it as well. Is there anything else you'd like me to cover off, other than reminding folks to go inside, check out all of the booths? The Thornhill United Church is going to provide tea and coffee as of about 11:30. Make sure you journey in. And a couple of last things I'll leave you. Please.
The newly elected member of the provincial
I
Please.
I don't want her. I don't want her. And I don't want her.
It's quite all right. I literally just showed up.
But that's great.
Lauren, I'll introduce you. Sir Lauren Smith, come on over, please, if you would. Yes.
Um,
Our local representative, thank you for stepping up.
Local elect.
Thank you for stepping up.
No, I actually didn't plan to say anything, but what I would like to say is I want to thank all of you for allowing me to be here. And I'm sorry I didn't connect with you earlier. I was literally brought in less than a week ago at this point in time. So thank you. I grew up not so far from here. My father, who was a commercial architect, photographer, and a lover of history, instilled in me a great love of these buildings. And we would walk through this area when I was a little girl. I actually photographed the Thornhill pub when I was 17. I did a then and now perspective. And I had no idea at the time that he was instilling a love of community, because he always said to me, you always have to know where you've come from before you can move forward. And the thing that I love about this neighborhood, and I live in this neighborhood, I live and breathe this neighborhood, is the fact that the streets are so perfectly preserved. They're literally a movie set. And the people who live in those buildings love these homes. And they're conduits for these homes because they know they're passing them on to a new generation.
True, they do.
That's what they do. And that's what I love about this community. I am so proud to be a representative, and I hope to work on future projects in this area. Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be
Well done. Well done. Thank you. Well done. The McMichael Gallery is having a special event today. It's a plein air event. It starts at 12, going to 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Sort of a drop-in.
A drop-in. Okay, well done. Last but not least, and we're just getting things kick-started, right? We're about to have our first tour. And it's really special to have Susan MacDonald here. Now, she's a family member. Susan, you're going to step up and say a couple of words, I know. Family member of what this place is all about. Thank you, as a representation of the family.
My speech won't be long, so not to worry. I just want to say to all the people who worked on this, like, you know, the Thornhill Society, all the volunteers, all the ones that we forget about and we don't realize. It takes a lot, and I know it was a lot of work to do this. And I think it's just wonderful, and we're lucky the rain's holding off, but it's only water anyway, so who cares? Beat snow any day, that's for sure. And I love the fact that the property is for everybody to walk through and enjoy, because I have so many memories of coming here every weekend with my parents or my father and playing here as a child. It's different now, but it's nice that everybody else can get some enjoyment, like walking through and bringing their kids and all this. And I think it's important to keep these things alive, especially for the children who, you know, because visuals are so important. You can talk till you're blue in the face, but it's not the same as actually seeing it. That makes a big difference. And the other thing I wanted to mention is when we go on the tour, if all of you learn one thing that you didn't know, then the Thornhill Historical Society has done their job. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. And first tour is about to go. You're going to have a blast with Rachel and also David. I think that about covers it. Make sure you see the spot booth, also the Thornhill Heritage Foundation. If you really enjoyed today, how about becoming a member, right? We got Rachel, we got Mitch. They're some of our newest major contributors. People like me need to give up the spotlight for the youth. The future does belong to the new youth, and we've got to do a better job at Spot for making that happen. So thanks for stepping up today. Over to you guys for the start of the tour. We good? So it's going to start here, right, Rachel? Okay.